In the last lecture, we discussed all about the theory part of the op-amp, and let me tell you one good thing, that whatever we have discussed in the last lecture, the summary we discussed in the last, and this summary is only required for any competitive exam, for anywhere, only these 7 to 8 points are required to remember as for the theory portion of the op-amp. If you remember these points, then you will be able to solve the numericals. And the main thing is that you need to solve the problems. The main thing about the op-amp, that problems are very necessary to solve. And in this lecture, I will tell you how to solve the problems related to op-amp. But first, let us again revise these 6 to 8 points. Those are very necessary. First point was that for open loop and for the negative feedback amplifier, the gain of op-amp is extremely high. That much high that it can be considered as infinitive. And because we can consider it as infinitive, then virtual ground process is applicable. If virtual ground process is applicable, it means voltage at both the terminals V1 and V2 is equal. So first you need to see whether the op-amp is open loop or it is connected with negative feedback. If it is the condition, then virtual ground process is applicable. It is not applicable for positive feedback. All the amplifiers use negative feedback, and all the other applications except the oscillation uses negative feedback. Second thing was that input resistance of op-amp is very high. It means no current can enter inside the op-amp. So there are 2 points, virtual ground process and current cannot enter inside the op-amp. Now any circuit can be solved very easily if you remember these 2 points. So let us move on to the circuits. First circuit is inverting amplifier. What is inverting amplifier? Now see, this is the op-amp. There are 2 inputs, negative and positive. Negative input is called inverting, positive input is called non-inverting. This inverting amplifier is called amplifier because negative feedback is provided. See, output is connected to negative terminal and input is applied to negative terminal, inverting terminal, while the non-inverting terminal is grounded. That is why it is called inverting amplifier. Now there are simple 4 steps to solve these type of problems or this type of circuits. What we need to find out? We need to find out the gain of the op-amp, the relation between output and input. How we do that? Step 1, first check that feedback is negative or not. If feedback is negative, then virtual ground is applicable. So step 1, negative feedback. Step 2, yes, VGP is applicable. If VGP is applicable means V2 is equals to V1. So what is V1? V1 is 0. So V2 is 0. So V1 is equals to 0, V2 is equals to 0. It means, and the third point is current inside the op-amp is 0. It means input current at op-amp is 0. Now see this point. This point. Here current I1 is there, IF is there, IN is there. So IN is 0 because no current can enter inside the op-amp. So I1 is equals to IF. This is the very basic rule for op-amp. Now what is the next step? Applied nodal. So we know V1 is equals to 0, V2 is equals to 0. Now we apply nodal on this junction. So if this junction means voltage at this junction is assumed to be highest, so this voltage V2 minus V in divided by the resistance R1 plus V2 minus V out divided by resistance RF plus this current IN is 0, so it is equals to 0. If we solve, V2 is equals to 0, V1 is equals to 0, minus V in by R1 minus V out by RF, it means V out is equals to minus RF by R1 is equals to into V in. So gain of the inverting amplifier comes out to be minus RF by R1. This inverting amplifier is also known as voltage shunt feedback amplifier. Now let us discuss the non-inverting amplifier. For non-inverting amplifier, again it is amplifier, so negative feedback is provided, output is connected to negative terminal and input is applied to non-inverting terminal, that is positive terminal, and the inverting terminal is grounded. We cannot ground it directly, we have to provide the resistance. So resistance R1 is connected. So it is very basic, simple. Again, first check whether the negative feedback is provided or not. So negative feedback is provided, that is why VGP is applicable, virtual ground process is applicable. So V in is equals to V1 is equals to V2 is applicable. What is V1? V1 is equals to V in. So V2 is equals to V1 is equals to V in. Now apply nodal at junction V2. So V2 minus 0 divided by R1, V2 minus V out divided by RF. I in is always 0, that is why it is equals to 0. So if we solve this, we find out that V out is equals to 1 plus RF by R1 into V in. So gain of the non-inverting amplifier is 1 plus RF by R1. Now see one thing, that gain of the inverting amplifier was minus RF by R1, means negative. Inverting means negative always. So gain was also negative, while the gain of non-inverting amplifier is positive. Non-inverting amplifier is also known as voltage series feedback amplifier. Now let us discuss some basic applications of op-amp. So I am not going to discuss what is this circuit. We will find out by solving the circuit. So this is the circuit, normal circuit. We will first find out what is the name of this particular circuit. So first step is again find out negative feedback is there or not. Yes, negative feedback is there. So VGP is applicable. VGP is applicable, it means VA is equals to VB. So we can choose any nomenclature. So VB is equals to VA. What is VA? VA is equals to 0. So apply nodal over this junction. So VB minus V1 by R1 plus VB minus V2 by R2 plus VB minus V3 by R3 plus VB minus V out by RF is equals to 0. If you solve this, you will find out minus V out is equals to minus RF, V1 by R1, V2 by R2, V3 by R3. If the value of these resistances are equal, that is equals to R, then we will find out that V out is equals to minus RF by R, V1 plus V2 plus V3. Now see some interesting thing. It is the inverting amplifier because input is applied at inverting terminal, not at non-inverting terminal. So what was the gain for inverting terminal? Minus RF by R1. The relationship between output and input was minus RF by R. Now what is the input? Input was V1, V2 and V3. What we are getting here at the output? The summation of these voltage, V1 plus V2 plus V3. So this is circuit is called summing amplifier or mixer. The next example is this one. Here see that it is non-inverting amplifier because V1, V2 and V3 are applied at non-inverting terminal, and inverting terminal is grounded with again the resistance R1. So first see VGP is applicable or not. Yes, VGP is applicable. It means VB is equals to VA. Now we have to find out what is VB. So apply nodal over here at VB first. So what is VB? VB minus V1 by R, VB minus V2 by R, VB minus V3 by R. So 3VB is equals to V1 plus V2 plus V3. So VB is equals to V1 plus V2 plus V3 by 3. Now VA is equals to VP. So because of the virtual ground process, now we can apply the nodal over here. VA minus R, VA minus 0 by R1, VA minus Vout by RF. So we can find out that Vout is equals to 1 plus RF by R1 into VA. So what is VA? VA is equals to VB, V1 plus V2 plus V3 divided by 3. So Vout is this. Now see again, interesting thing that it is the non-inverting amplifier. So gain of the non-inverting amplifier was 1 plus RF by R1. So which is reflected here, and what we are getting at the output, some gain into summation of input. Summation of input means it is again summing amplifier or mixer, but in the first case it was inverting, in the second case it was non-inverting. So we can design summing amplifier by using inverting circuit or by using non-inverting circuit. So you don't need to remember anything, just apply the mathematics step by step. You will find out what is the circuit, what is the name of the circuit. So let us see some more examples like this. See, this is the circuit. So here again VA and VB is applied at both the terminals. So we are not going to see what is the circuit is. We will just see whether VGP is applicable or not. So negative feedback is there, so VGP is applicable. So V1 is equals to V2. What is V1? V1 here we have to find out V1. So V1 is V1 minus VB by R plus V1 minus 0 by R. So V1 is equals to VB by 2. By voltage dividing rule also it is VB by 2. So V2 is equals to V1. It means V2 is equals to VB by 2. Apply nodal. Again V2 minus VA by R. V2 minus Vout by R is equals to 0. And we will find out Vout is equals to VB minus VA. It means what are we getting? We are getting at the output the difference of two signals into some gain. Here the gain is unity. Unity means 1. But what are we getting at the output? Subtraction of two signals. So that is why this circuit is subtractor. So we need to find out. We will give the name. We will not remember the circuit diagram of the subtractor. We will find out what is the name of the circuit. Let us move to next example. This is the circuit. The capacitor is involved. Whenever capacitor is involved, I told you capacitor does not allow sudden change of voltage. So capacitor cannot be treated as direct resistance. So we have to find out the impedance of the capacitor. So what is the impedance of capacitor? ZC is equals to 1 by j omega c. Now there are two methods to solve this problem. First method is, we know that current cannot enter in the op-amp, so this current is 0. Suppose current here is IT, so same current will go here. Now we will equate these two. What is this current? Here the voltage is 0. The voltage here is 0. So current Vout is equals to, current across the capacitor is minus 1 by C IT dt. Why minus sign? Because current is incoming from the Vout. If current was outgoing from the Vout, then it would be plus. And what is IT? IT is equals to V in T minus 0 divided by R, means V in T divided by R. So Vout is equals to minus 1 by RC V in T dt. So this circuit, the relationship between input and output is given by the integration. That is why this circuit is called integrator. Now let us move to second method. That is more conventional, and we would prefer this method, second method. First thing is replace C by its impedance. What is the impedance of the capacitor? ZC. ZC is 1 by j omega C. VGP is applicable, so V1 is equals to V2. V2 is 0, V1 is 0. Apply nodal. 0 minus V in T by R plus 0 minus V out by ZC is equals to 0. So V out is equals to minus ZC by R into V in T. ZC is equals to 1 by j omega C. Put here. Whenever you find 1 upon j omega, where omega is frequency, you can replace 1 by j omega with the integration sign. Always remember, in the electronics or electrical, that 1 by j omega it is in frequency. It is frequency, it is time. Time and frequency are related to each other. We will discuss this thing in the signal and system, how frequency domains 1 by j omega and frequency domain can be replaced by integration in time domain, and j omega in numerator can be replaced by differentiator in the time domain. So 1 by j omega is equals to integration d by dt always, and j omega is equals to 1 by d by dt. D by dt means differentiation. So here we have found 1 minus 1 by j omega RC into Vt, and this, if we replace 1 by j omega with the integration sign, we again get the same result. It means the circuit is integrator. So remember, always 1 by j omega will always be replaced by integration, and j omega will always be replaced by differentiation in the time domain. Now again, there is another circuit in which capacitor is not here in the feedback. Capacitor is at the input and feedback is replaced by the resistance. So let us solve this circuit. So we will choose the method 2, not the method 1. First see, VGP is applicable, yes. So V1 is equals to V2. It means V1 is equals to V2 is equals to 0. Apply nodal. 0 minus V in T by ZC. 0 minus V out by R is equals to 0. V out is equals to minus R by ZC into VNT. V out is equals to minus j omega RC into VNT. I told you that j omega can be replaced by d by dt. So j omega will be replaced by d by dt. So output relationship between output and input is different by differentiating. It means the circuit is differentiator. Now there is one more problem, that some resistances are. Let us apply. First see, VGP is applicable, yes. Means V2 is equals to V in and V1 is equals to V2. So V1 is equals to V2 is equals to V in. Apply nodal. V in minus 0 by R. V in minus V out by R. 2 V in is equals to V out. V out is equals to 2 V in. So it means this is voltage doubler. Voltage is getting doubled. So this is voltage doubler. Now another circuit is direct normal circuit. It is V in. Feedback amplifier, feedback is negative, feedback is applied. This is V in, this is V in. Output is directly, it is short circuited, so it is V out is equals to V in. So no need to apply the nodal. Output is directly coming, V out is equals to V in. So output is directly following the input, exactly same the input. The circuit is called voltage follower. So such type of circuits can be made in using the op-amp. And let us see one more very good example, that is called differential amplifier. The differential amplifier and the circuit of the subtractor is almost same, but there is a difference. Where is the subtractor? So here it is a circuit of the subtractor. If you see, the circuit is almost similar. Two inputs, three resistances, one output. But what is the difference between these two? I will tell you. At the output, we are getting VB minus VA here. We can apply more inputs over here. So circuit will be more. We can have the adder over here, adder circuit. So it will be V1 plus V2 plus V3 minus VB. So it will be a large circuit. But in the differential amplifier, what is the difference between these two? Not very much difference. I will tell you that in the differential amplifier, we will get the difference of the output as we are getting in the subtractor. But why it is called differential amplifier? Because when a noise is coming at the circuit, suppose a noise is coming from here, then the noise will be applicable here and here. It is incoming noise. The amplitude of the noise at both these two terminals will be same. And what are we getting at the output? The difference of these two signals. It means at the output the noise will be zero. So why do we use differential amplifier? Because it amplifies the signal, information signal only, or message signal only. Whatever the noise or humming is there is cancelled by this subtraction, because noise is always same at both the inputs. If it is incoming, noise will be same at both the inputs. That is why it is called differential amplifier. So it amplifies the difference of two signals. Any common or same signal is nullified or rejected by this amplifier. In differential amplifier, none of the input is grounded as in the subtractor. Okay, so कोई input grounded नहीं है. अब देखो first thing क्या है? VGP is applicable. Yes, V1 is equals to V2. We have to find V1. So we have to find V1 by applying nodal over here. So V1 minus 0 by R3. V1 minus V in 1 divided by R2 is equals to 0. So V1 is equals to R3 divided by R2 plus R3 into V in 1. So V2 is equals to V1 is equals to this. Now apply nodal over here. Nodal V2 minus V into by R1. V2 minus V out by RF is equals to 0. Write down the value of, just solve this thing and you will get this expression. If you put the value of V1, you will get this expression, means relation between V out, V in 1 and V in 2. If R1 is equals to R2 and R3 is equals to RF, then you will find out that V out is equals to minus RF by R1, V in 2 minus V in 1. So this is the basic expression. So one thing is that minus RF by R1 is the gain of inverting amplifier. Now see, if I ground this, it means V in 2 is equals to 0, V in 2 is equals to 0, V out is equals to 1 plus RF by R1 means non-inverting amplifier. If I ground this, that is V in 1 is 0, it means output is, the gain is minus RF by R1 means inverting amplifier. It means differential amplifier is the combination of inverting amplifier as well as non-inverting amplifier. Now this is the same thing I was telling you about. When any external noise signal is applied to both the inputs, the output of applied noise will be same at both the terminals. When the input is same means V in 1 is equals to V in 2. It means output will be 0. If noise is coming, then noise cannot amplify in this particular differential amplifier. So this amplifier is used for noise cancellation purposes. So differential amplifier cancels out the noise incoming and only amplifies a difference signal. The gain of difference amplifier is represented by AD. There are three possible modes in which this differential amplifier can work. The single mode, in which only one input is applied. I told you, if input is applied at inverting terminal, then it will be act as inverting amplifier. If input is applied at non-inverting terminal, it will be called as non-inverting amplifier. It will not be a differential amplifier anymore. Second thing is differential mode, in which V in 1 is not equals to V in 2, so that a difference signal will be amplified. Means difference of the V in 1 and V in 2 will be reached at the output. What is common mode? In common mode, V in 1 is equals to V in 2, यानी कि common signal will be applied to both the terminals, and the output voltage of in common mode should always be 0. Now let us discuss one more and last topic of the op-amp, that is common mode rejection ratio. What is the common mode rejection ratio? Look, the main property of differential amplifier is that it can reject any signal such as undesired signals, humming and noise. So it cancels out such type of signals. Since amplitude of such signals is same at both the terminals, that is why it is called common mode rejection. Means common signals are rejected, that is why it is called common mode rejection. What is the rejection ratio? Common mode rejection ratio is called CMRR. It is the measure of ability of this differential amplifier, that up to what extent it can reject the signals. कितना सिग्नल अगर नॉइज हमने दिया तो कितना नॉइज वो कैंसिल कर सकता है. इस एबिलिटी को हम किससे मेजर करेंगे? CMRR से. व्हाट इज CMRR? मैथमेटिकली डिफाइंड एज AD divided by ACM. AD is differential voltage gain. ACM is common mode voltage gain. What are these? So first find out generally, if we have a device, there are two inputs V1 and V2. There is one output. So when I say this is a device having a gain, so it can be generalized in this form. What is that form? V2 is equals to summation of these two inputs multiplied by individual gains. What are the individual gains? A1 and A2. So V out can be represented as A1 V1 plus A2 V2, where A1 is the voltage gain due to V1 and A2 is voltage gain due to V2. Now what is VCM? VCM is common mode voltage. What is VCM? VCM is average of these two voltage, V1 plus V2 by 2. What is VD? VD is difference of these two voltage, V1 minus V2. Now if I solve these two equation 2 and equation 3, I can get the value of V1 and V2. V1 is equals to VCM plus VD by 2. V2 is equals to VCM minus VD by 2. From equation 1, if I put the value of V1 and V2 in equation 1, I can find out V out is equals to VCM A1 plus A2 plus VD A1 minus A2 divided by 2. So if I compare equation 1, and this particular equation, let us give it a name, equation 5. So I can find out that difference of these voltage V1 minus V2 is AD, differential gain, and A1 plus A2 is ACM, common mode voltage gain. So ACM is here it is written, differential voltage gain and common mode voltage gain. So this is the process of to find out the common mode voltage gain and differential voltage gain. So we can rewrite the output equation. V out is equals to VCM into ACM plus VD into AD. And if I want to write CMRR in dB, because these are voltage gains, so I have to write it as in 20 log tan AD by CM. So in the next